Hi everyone, my name is Erez Weinstein, and this is going to be a little bit different than the original talk that I had to, I was supposed to give with all the situation and everything different. I hope all of you are safe and healthy and having fun, although all the situation. Um, we're gonna talk today about our business, or the business of short-term vacation rentals. There's a lot of things in it that also implies to regular short-term rentals. But my experience, my knowledge is on vacation rentals. It's a little bit different of them, but you can still learn a lot about other things, even if you, let's say, in a big city and you cater more for business people. There's still ideas you can use here. So let's start. As I said, my name is Erez Weinstein. We have 5 houses in Destin, Florida, and I'm in one of them right now. I need to be outside because they're doing a little bit of remodeling inside. We just bought it a week ago, and so it might be a little bit noisy or things going on, but don't worry. I think you'll still get the information. We've been doing it for 6 years. I also did a lot of other things in real estate. We had long-term investment properties. We flipped houses, and I did other things. I also have businesses in e-commerce and things like that. So in general, I'm kind of an entrepreneur. And we also travel full time for 2 years now. We're on the road. We have 2 kids, and this is our business. So for the last 2 years, that's the only thing we do. We had 3 houses, and we added a couple more in the last 3 months. And it's definitely financially, it's amazing for us. It gives us a lot of freedom, and with all honesty, it takes very little work for us to manage it remotely. So we'll talk about how you find one, how you think about one. We talk about risk. We'll talk about business. We'll talk about what you want to look for, and how you make it nice, and how you make sure it's going to be profitable for you. And we also going to talk a little bit about how to manage it remotely. Now, we only have about 40 minutes, which is not a lot, but I'll try to put as much information as I can inside this. And if you have any questions, or you have specifics, you find a house, or you want to, I don't know, just want to connect, my information will be provided here. You can email me at erezwe@gmail.com. You can call me, and I'm always happy to help, even in businesses that are not related to vacation rentals. So let's start. So this part is a little bit different than originally. I wanted to talk only about vacation rental, but obviously, with the situation right now, I'm sure a lot of you wondering, about this. It's a huge, it's a big problem for the travel industry right now, and we're hurting as well. We get a lot of cancellations. They just announced they're going to close the beach in Destin and Miramar Beach, where our houses are, which doesn't help. But that's the risk. So let's talk about risk for a second. Any business, and most of you here are entrepreneurs, or want to be entrepreneurs. You want to work for yourself. You're probably a little bit more risk averse than the average person, but you have to understand that in order to create wealth and build your wealth and advance your even financial freedom, or freedom in general, or to really make your own dreams, be with your kids more, travel more, whatever it is, you have to take a risk. And there's no low risk. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I just want to do low risk investments, low risk opportunities." What they basically said, I want no risk. With no risk, there's no growth. Yeah, it can be like nice things going on, and it's going to float nicely, but to grow something, or to get to the point you're really comfortable with, whatever is your financial freedom, you have to take risk that involve uncertainties, risk that involve bad times, struggles. Has to happen. And I'll talk more about what's going on with that now, and how actually this business, although it's in the travel industry, and although that is hurting right now, has some cushions and some opportunities in it, that's actually lowering the risk, and we'll talk about it more at the end of it. So, short-term vacation rentals is a real estate business, and it has to start. Any real estate business has to start with a good deal, in my opinion. Well, not even in my opinion, but a lot of people, when they think about good deal, they think about oh, I found it's great, fine, it's a price, amazing price, or a house nobody saw and I got it. And it definitely makes a good deal to find a house in a good price, or in a off market. But what really makes a real estate deal a good deal is the opportunity it has in it, or the upside. So every house you buy, unless you're flipping houses, which is a whole different side of real estate, every other real estate investment is a long-term investment. Normally, you would not make money out of real estate, short-term, long-term, whatever, your own house, within a year or two. I'm talking about equity or value of just selling that house. So you have to understand it's a long-term game, and which means a few things. You want the house to be in a relatively good condition. You want the house to be in a good location. You want the house, and if the house is not in a good condition, you want to have enough money and enough upside in it to make it in a good condition, so it will last long term. You also want to be in an area that is either proving to be good right now, or it's up and coming, or it's near areas that are good right now. So, for example, when you buy in Destin, yes, you pay a little bit more than you'll pay in Panama City Beach, for example. But you also, from the get-go, will make more. Your cash flow is better. More people look for Destin for vacation. So you have to outweigh those and see if it makes sense to you. So that's another point here. It has to make sense to you. So you'd say, okay, I found this deal. My cousin is selling a house in the Colorado mountains, and it's a good deal. It's my cousin. I can get it at a good price. The area has some ski resort around it. But do you know Colorado? Have you ever been there? Are you willing to go there a few times a year? Do you like snow? So not every good deal is a good deal for you. It does have to make sense for you. You have to be there. You'll have to understand the area. You'll have to have some kind of passion to it, because like any other business, by the way, if there's no passion, there's no success in business. Like if you don't, there's very few people that can just be very cold in a business as I'm buying this business just for the numbers. You have to have some passion to this business, and this business happened to be a location. So it has to make sense to you. It has to make sense in what you can do now. How often do you think you're gonna be in that area? How well you know that area? How well you want to know? Maybe you don't know this area. That's fine too. But it's an area that you say, okay, I'm interested in that area. So it has to make sense. Now, to the most important part, to make a good deal, a real estate deal, a house has to not be perfect. People say, I'm looking for the perfect house in the perfect location. But a perfect house in a perfect location, you have no upside. You pay too much. 100% of the time, you pay for someone else to make it perfect, and you pay premium on that. So unless you're like, I don't care much about, I just want to have a fun house. I have some money. I just want to, be on the beach and everything is beautiful and I don't have to touch it. That's fine, but it's not going to be a good business in the long term. And it's not, and if in a downturn, you'll have some problem with it. So you have to take that into consideration. And of course, location. Anything in real estate has to be in a good location, because Most of us are RVers. We can go everywhere you want, but unfortunately, houses, brick and mortar houses, they can't be moved. So if it's not somewhat okay location that has, and then you need to assess it, because yes, not always you can buy the house on the beach or the house in the downtown Nashville, but is it close enough? Is it, does it make sense? Has any upside around it? Even do you see things happening around it? Because remember, you don't have all the research capacity in the world, but trust me, when you see hotels building in the area, you see a new Walmart, a new Target, a new outlet, those people do have the research team, because nobody opens a Whole Foods just by a hunch. Nobody builds a new Target just because they think it's nice or they found a good location. They research that. They have experts that do that. So if you see some of those around, that's a very good sign that this area is up and coming, is developing, or even is developed right now. So all of that makes a good deal. Now, you find your house, and you find it's a good location, it's a location you like, it makes sense to you, you have the money to do it. So you look around. Most people are like, oh, I want to buy a vacation rental. I'm gonna go on Airbnb, I'm gonna go on VRBO, and I'm gonna see what is my competition. What others do, how much they charge, how does it look like. But this is unfortunately very, very wrong. Yeah, you can go and take a look, but unfortunately, and I'm not disrespecting anyone, most people, they're not professional. They don't know how to do it very well. Most people that rent their home, they're not doing a good job. So yeah, 10-15% of those, phenomenal. 85%, not so much. But where you can learn is you take one of the industries, the hotels. It's one of the industries that are most sophisticated in reading their market in real time, in pricing, in amenities. It's been so long and done so well that they're never wrong. If you see a phenomenal area, but all the hotels are cheap, it's a cheap area. And vice versa. If you think like this, come on, I don't get it. I don't get why hotels there cost $400 a night. So you're missing something. You need to research that. Usually, hotels, especially the big chains, established ones, they know very, very well what they're doing. They change their pricing hourly, daily. They work with so many partners. They have so many data, and they mainly have a lot of feedback. They move a lot of guests, and they know what works and what's not. So if you see in your area, it's all business hotels with small rooms and beds, it's probably the people who's coming. If you see big suites, again, that's your indication. So your competition is hotels. Which leads me to the next portion of it, which is layout is king. Okay, you need to, because we said competition is your competition is mainly the hotels, and it is, for example, by the way, in Destin, Florida, about 1,000 vacation rentals, but tens of thousands of hotel rooms. So yes, it's nice. People have some options, but again, even among those vacation rentals, some of them are bigger, smaller, different locations. They're not your main competition. They are competition, but they're not your main competition. So when you look at a house, you need to think, and search like hotel rooms, not bedrooms. So for example, if you find a 4-bedroom house which has small rooms, it's nice, or the layout on them, it can sleep 8. So just a bed, a queen bed or a king bed, doesn't matter, in each room, sleeps 8. You basically have 2 hotel rooms, all right? Because most hotel rooms will let you sleep 4, some of them will let you sleep 5. You don't have 4 bedrooms, you have 2 hotel rooms. So you can go and find comparable hotel rooms in your area that kind of looks the same value. If your house is very fancy, you go to very fancy hotels. If your house is average, you go to average hotels. And you look what they do. You look at the pricing. And let's say in your area in the summer you charge $200 a night. All right. So you usually can charge a little bit less because you're not a hotel, and people still feel like they pay more for a hotel. So let's say you can charge $350 a night. That's fine. It's nice, but it's fine. But now the next door house has 3 bedrooms, but they're bigger, or the layout, and it's the same 2,000 square foot. But the layout is different. The rooms are bigger. You can put more beds in each room. So let's say now you can sleep 12 or 14 in that 3-bedroom house. So now you have 3 hotel rooms. So one you can charge $350. The other one you probably can charge close to $600 or $550. That's $200 a month, a day difference. And if you only take even just the summer, just 8 weeks of summer, at $200 more a night, that's $12,000 more in those 2 months. Same house, same price, same square feet, just more hotel rooms. So layout and capacity, how many beds, what type of beds, the layout of the beds, are more important than how many bedrooms, because you need to think hotel rooms. Also think, depending on the area, like who are your guests? What are they coming? There's big families, there's groups, there's bachelorette parties, there's business people. So you also need to think what what they need. Do they even care about a large living room, or they prefer bigger rooms? Vice versa. Do you need a big kitchen? Do you need a big dining area? Because it doesn't make sense, for example, to have a house that sleeps 16 with a dining room that can seat 6. You can sell it to people, but they're not gonna enjoy themselves. It doesn't make sense to cram up. Yeah, you can put maybe the beds, but everything else has to support it as well. So living room usually in vacation rentals can be smaller, but dining rooms or dining areas and bedrooms are very important, and they have to match. And also, of course, to see what's around you. So let's give an example here. So look at this really gorgeous, beautiful bedroom. Or some people will find it gorgeous, some people but let's say you like it. It's lots of lights, it's high ceiling, it has a private balcony to it, has a fireplace, it's large and open. It's phenomenal. If it was your own home, it was great. It's like, man, look at this bedroom, it's phenomenal. However, there's a problem here. You can only, in this large bedroom that takes a lot of square foot of your house, you can basically just sleep 2, because you can block the balcony doors, which are double doors. You can block the windows, you can block the fireplace, you can block the entrance to the bathroom that you don't see on the other side. So it is gorgeous, but it's useless. It doesn't have the capacity to it. So it's better, for that sake, if you can only put 1 bed, it's better that it's going to be a smaller bedroom. So you have either a larger living area or more bedroom in the house. So you can sleep more people. You have to see past that. It's not your home, and we'll talk about it in a second. You have to think how I make it a hotel room, how I put 4 beds or 4 people. I can sleep 4 people here, or 6 people even, in this big room. So if it's nice but it doesn't work layout wise, doesn't have the value to it. Just doesn't have the value. I'll give you an example here. Sometimes you can make very small changes that are not costly at all and change a house. So this is the house we just bought. Has 3 bedrooms. It's about 1,600 square feet. And when you enter, it has a nice large living room and a nice, great large dining area and kitchen. And then you go on the right, there's a bedroom you can sleep. You can put 1 bed. In that bedroom, we decided to put a queen over queen, a queen bunk bed. So it's going to be 4, kind of a kid's room, but also adults can use it because it's queen size. It's not like full. And then the next room, we can only put a queen bed in it. So now we sleep 6, and we have another bedroom, which is the master, which is quite large. is 13.6 long, which you think about queen bed is 5 feet. So you can put 2 queen or a queen and a queen over queen, and still have a very airy, nice, large room, larger than the average hotel room. But we had one problem on the corner. When you enter on the corner of the room, that was the entrance to the bathroom. So we can't put a bed right next to the wall because it will block the entrance to the bathroom. So all we did, we moved that door 7.5 feet down, open another door to that bathroom, and now we can put a bed right next to the wall, so we can fit queen over queen bed and a queen bed on the side. So now this room is a large room. It's phenomenal. It can sleep 6 with a private bathroom, and it's only cost maybe $750. This was just take the door, put it here, put the drywall, paint, you're done. We didn't do anything else. It's some houses we do crazy remodeling. This one, it's nothing, and we made it from a house that most people will go in and say, oh, it sleeps 6, and now it sleeps 12, and we put a couple of futons in the living room because it's very large. It can sleep 14. So as an investor, if you look at vacation rentals like that, when you look at how can I make it hotel rooms, you have an edge on the average buyer. So they said, oh, it's sleep 6, sleep 8 maybe, but you make it a house that sleeps 14, and it costs you $700 or $1,000. So you buy low because most investors will not find it a good house to buy, smart investors. But you see those little things, you make a little change, you make a big difference. Next things, people book with their eyes. So when they book your house, they don't know anything about it. They don't see it, they don't know the neighborhood. They sit somewhere in Ohio or in Tennessee, and they look for a house. And if it's a family or a group of friends, what they want to do, they want to look for a house that's going to be nice for them, that's going to be different for them, that's going to be inviting. So it has to be neat. All your pictures has to be professionally made, neat and bright, but it also has to be colorful and inviting. So especially when there's 2 stages to their search. They type whatever they want, and then they see all those small pictures of all the other properties in your area, your competitors, and their eyes has to stop on yours. And a very trick, everybody knows that from web design, for example, is a call to action or a button that says, hey, something has to happen, has to be bright, and has to stop. You make you stop and click on it. And because you can't put much of a text, you can have some of your title. They see some of your title, which is also important, and we'll talk about it in a second. You want colors in that small picture, and you have to test it as a small picture. So see, as a small picture, does it pop? Has to pop. It doesn't have to be your front door. It doesn't have to be the outside of the house. It can be your living room, it can be a bedroom, it can be a bathroom, it can be your pool. It has just to be an enticing picture. It has to be interesting. It has to pop. All right, because a lot of people, what they're doing, they think about regular real estate. Every realtor will tell you want to sell your house, you have to have neutral colors, because it has to be nice. People don't like crazy color. It has to be neutral colors. That's the basics of regular real estate. For short-term vacation rentals, it has to pop. It has to be different. People don't want to stay in their home. They can stay in their home. They want something that they maybe not gonna do for themselves. So they want to see. They want to say, wow. They want to stop and see color. So make it colorful and inviting. Also put some interesting object in them. All right. So in this picture of our latest, our last house that we bought, we put this arcade machine, which is $2.99 on Amazon. It's very cool. It's fun to play. but it's also something like stops people. It's like, oh, arcade machine, and it's something that they don't have in their average hotel room. So they don't have this large TV, they don't have a fireplace, they don't have definitely don't have an arcade machine. Or in another house, we put a TV in the pool. It's nothing. What is a TV? It's $400, and we build an enclosure to it. But people see a TV in the pool. That's nice. That's a different, even from all the other people that has a pool, has a TV in the pool. Would people sit and watch all day Netflix in their pool? No. But it's interesting. It's something that they don't see every day. It's something that they don't have in their own home. So it's cool. You have to have a cool factor to your houses. As I said, always test it. Look at that small picture. Not even on your phone, like really small. Put it on whatever, and think, is that makes you stop, make you look at it. Now, the most important thing to remember when you're doing this, it's not your home. It's not your home, so it doesn't have to. You don't have to love it as a layout. It's not that you don't have to impress your friends with it. You know. It's not just for a day-to-day life. People come on vacation, they go. It doesn't have to be perfect for, a long term. It has to be perfect for a short term. And it's gonna be abused a little bit. And by that saying that, we've been over 9,000 people went through our houses over the years. 9,000, actually way more. It's about 9,000 a year that goes through our houses now, and we hardly had any issues. And even the issues we had are simple for this type of business. Like we have to replace a sofa. It's nothing. But it is abused. People use it much more than you use your house. So you have to get used to the fact that there's gonna be scratches on the wall. You're gonna replace furniture. Things will break. It has to have more maintenance to it. But if you buy something that is super nice and you feel like it's your own home, it's not gonna be good for your psyche. It's very hard. It's very stressful to manage a vacation rental like that. So. It's not your home. It's a business, and you should treat it like a business. So everything you buy has to make sense. It's either has to be cheap because you can replace it, or it has to be very high quality because you need it to stand, to be. You have to accept that there's cost to it. You have to constantly update and change it and replace things all the time. It's part of the business. So if every time something is break or something is missing, it crunches your heart, it's not a business for you. That's a business. Like any business has costs to it. There are expenses always. And another thing, because it's a business and it's not your own homes, comfortable is much better than beautiful. Yes, I know I said people buy with their eyes and you want it to be also beautiful, but it has to be practical. So we buy, for example, all our dining chairs are metal chairs. Why? Because they technically they break less. They don't get stained. They're smaller, so we can put, same dining room, can put a couple more people around it, and it's easy for us to just find them. We buy the same thing on Amazon, and if we need to, we just boom, ship some more to it. A lot of people said it, and they look good. They look good, but they're practical. Is there better chairs around? Yeah, maybe, but those are practical. Everything has to be more practical. Another thing is that you have to strive not to 100%. I know everybody says, "Oh, our house is gonna be excellent." No, 90%. 90%. You have to realize that, because first we do it remotely. Maybe, yeah. If I lived in Destin, my houses would be amazing all the time. But I don't, because I do that because I want to travel and I want some freedom. So you have to accept it's going to be 90%. It's going to be fine. There's always going to be people that are not, happy. especially if you bought good deals houses. They're not perfect. They're not the most beautiful or the most, you know, well maintained to start with. So it's, you just have to do what you have to do and accept it. You have to do your best. Like we try, we put beautiful things, we replace things fast. We people complain, we win it. But you have to accept it's not going to be perfect. It's very important because all the things you do are you know, like that. So and also some people, you know, when they pay $5,000 for the week on vacation, they're like, man, that's I expected to get more. But they don't know that if they want to get more in Destin, for example, they'll pay $10,000 for the week. So you know, a lot of people have different views on what is expensive, what is not expensive. You have to deal with it. By the way, one of the things we saw, because Airbnb and VRBO up their fees a lot, and there's Florida fees and all kind of, it just, our weekly vacations became a little bit too expensive, I'd say. So most people pay over $5,000 for the week, and sometimes I felt, even myself, that maybe houses, you know, did not do that. And so a change that we did, and this is my other point, is you have to be on top of your market. Most houses in Destin, Florida, do weekly rentals in the summer, Saturday to Saturday. That's everyone in the industry. And we're like, how we win it? The industry is overflowing. There's more people coming in. It becomes very, very expensive. And we see some people are unhappy because they pay $5,000-$6,000 for the week. And it's like, that's expensive. People pay more. They expect more. And suddenly the things we always did amazing, and we got 5-star reviews on them, people like give us 4-star reviews. Because when they paid $3,500 a week, it was 5 stars for them. And now that they pay 5 or 6,000, maybe not. So one thing we did, we decided to open our bookings to whatever. Well, yeah, you can book even one night. We don't care in the summer. And it's an experiment, but it's proved to be a good experiment. Because we saw that people look at the total, how much they cost for the vacation, and they don't do the per day. So now we up our prices per night, but we open for less than a week. So people might, you know, book 3 nights and they pay $2,000, but they're happy. They're like, wow, this is super nice for $2,000. But you know, other people could have booked this house for a week for $5,000, which per night is less, but they're like, this for $5,000, we kind of expected more. And we see that, we see our reviews going up again, and we see people happy, and we also have some more time. I think when people come for a house and stay in a house for 3 or 4 days, they do less in the house, and they enjoy it. And they, you know, they don't, like, once you stay longer in the house, you start to look at the ceiling, you sit at night and like, oh, it's dirty up there or whatever. So we think it's a good experience, and it's also gave us an edge on the industry. So we're trying that, and this is very risky for us because we had stuff that worked phenomenally, but we still decided to do that because we like how we up the value. So to up a value, you can either remodel everything, upgrade everything, or give or have people pay less and get the same thing. But we didn't want them to pay less for the week. We just let them shorten the period so they pay less money in total. Another thing you have to remember in this business, it's a business, rooms are perishable goods. Sometimes if you don't sell it today, it's done. You can't sell it tomorrow. So sometimes it's good to accept a reservation that are not your cup of tea. Maybe you're not, you know, even if it's a house that is booked usually is better than, and a night that is booked even with not so great guests is better than a house that is not booked at all. So this is more complex. I can talk an hour about how you do that, but it's a whole theory. But again, if you ever want to go into this business, feel free to reach out to me, and we can talk more about how you sell rooms. So you have the house, you bought the house, you make it nice. And I read the book. I highly recommend it. It's called The Gardener and the Carpenter by Alison Gupnik. It's about raising kids, but you can learn a lot of good business advice from this book. And basically, what I give you the gist of it, and you have to be a gardener, not a carpenter. So a carpenter, they want to build everything that's gonna, they have to make it fit. The corners has to be nice, it has to be polished, it has to stand. While a gardener has to make it grow, has to make it nourish, has to nourish it to make the environment around it perfect, so it's something can grow, as opposed to making it perfect. So it's very important in this vacation rental houses. So you want in your houses, you want to create an environment that is comfortable for guests. You're not there. You're not there to solve everything. You're not there to show them where everything is. You're not there to bring immediately everything they want. So you need to think ahead of time how you make this house super comfortable for your guests. How many pillows you want to put, what kind of beddings you want to have. Is this sofa big enough for how many people you're gonna be there? What kind of TVs you put them? Do you give service? What kind of internet people would use internet or not? In the kitchen, pots and pans. What kind of knives? How many? How many glasses? How many plates? What kind of plates? Do you put kid stuff in it? Do you put a high chair, or how the tables look like? So you want, do you put some kind of gaming in it? So we try to think always like, if we were here, what we need. You remember, you need to be a host, not a landlord. Landlord, yeah, needs to be like, the house needs to be clean and work. It's fine. But you need to be a host. You need to make sure people are enjoying and people have everything they have. So I can tell you about, for me, if someone asks me, hey, do you have a rice cooker in your house? I say, yeah, of course. And then I go to Amazon and like, boom, rice cooker. Even if I don't have it. Because it's $20. And it was important to this guest, and it's important probably to another guest. So I take all the questions people ask me and I make them into, experience. And also, you have to make sure they have everything they need. So, for example, if you're not, usually you don't host enough, or you're not a cook, you don't like the kitchen at all. You have to ask friends that do. Find your friends that love to cook and like, hey man, what I need in this kitchen. I love to cook. So for me, when we make kitchens here in our houses, it's gonna be good amount of pots and pans, the ones that are high quality, the ones you can put into the oven, not with the plastic handles, because a real cook puts stuff in the oven. Finishing thing in the oven. I have good cutting knives. I have cutting boards, multiple of them. We'll have baking sheets. We have all kind of stuff. So measuring cups, really, for people who want to cook and bake in our house, they can do it, and they will be amazed. Even they're like, man, this is nice. So if someone comes to your house, they don't like the cook, they don't care about it, doesn't matter. But for those who do, that's an opportunity to impress, and it's easy. It's very easy. Same with mattresses. We always buy memory foam mattresses. We buy pillows. We put a lot of pillows, extra ones. We put extra blankets. We find nice sheets that we want. And by the way, we have amazing lists of things we buy. We're already, when we buy a house, we just go, we buy on Amazon or whatever. We know exactly what the good stuff is. So if you have any question about that, again, reach out to us. Now, another thing that you have to, being a gardener, is replacing cheap things often. So, window blinds, shower curtains, those are cheap, all right? You don't want to wait till they're worn out or moldy to just trash them and bring something else. A chair is a little bit broken, trash it, buy something else. Your sofa is stained, You try to clean it, you can't, you put a new sofa. It's not a big deal. We maintain also the houses all the time. Twice a year we send a plumber to drain the main lines, just because people put all kind of stuff in the toilet, and I don't want to wait for a guest at Sunday at 11 p.m. to have a clogged toilet. So we make sure the environment is great for their vacations. People come here and just enjoy. And by the way, unhappy guests are always an opportunity, because if guests are unhappy, they have an issue, and you fix it fast and to their liking, they're amazed. Their likelihood of them giving you 5 stars is even more than those people who you never heard from. So if there's an issue, fix it fast, fix it hard. So we sometimes, people call us and say fridge doesn't work. I'll go to Lowe's, I'll buy a fridge, Lowe's.com, I'll buy a fridge, I'll send my handyman, he'll take the fridge, put a new fridge. Guests are amazed. It cost me $1,000, great. But now I have a new fridge, probably gonna last few years. These guests are amazed. I got their 5-star review instead of a 3-star, because nobody wants to wait to Wednesday between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. for an appliance repair guy. So think about it. Try to amaze your guests. Okay, I have 3-4 more minutes. Let's talk about opportunities. Opportunity is all about options and availability. So we're in a weird time right now. The market gonna crash. There's gonna be stuff. So I'm not saying do stuff right now, but open your mind to opportunities. And you have to, you know how it is when you look for a certain car, suddenly you see this car all around you. Same with opportunities. When you think about opportunities, when you think about, okay, I want to buy a vacation rentals, find the location, find a house, think of all the things I said, good deal, good layout. Look around, even if you're not ready to buy, look around, because sometimes opportunities will show up, and then I have an option to do it. You don't have to do it, but you have the option. But if you don't look for it, you're gonna miss it. And if possible, make yourself available for those. If you have some savings, maybe you had some stock, you want to sell them, you have some cash, you have another house you maybe can sell. Sometimes it's a good thing to be ready yourself for that. Make sure you can actually ready when there's opportunities. And also remember, especially now, mortgages are free money. They are good to have. Again, you need to make sure you have some cash to deal with it, or some options to deal with it. And as I said earlier about the risk, what is this business? So we have 5 houses. So this time we took 1 house and we just rented it long term, for a month, for someone who just give us, the one just wanna. Yeah, so everyone on vacation are canceling, but then now we get a booking from a family that they're coming from Ohio. They don't want to be there. They prefer being in Destin. So there's always opportunities. You can rent them long term. You can even sell. We're thinking maybe we're gonna sell our first house that 6 years ago. Lots of equity in it, and we want to be on top of the market. I don't want to wait and see if the market's gonna crash or not. Because even if the market's not gonna crash and I sell this house and I'll make a profit, so what? So I'll buy another one. I know how to do it. But if the market gonna crash, I at least took some equity out. And in those rough times, so you have to look at opportunity, look at risk, and do it fast. And the last thing I want to say is that in any business, to be successful in business and to make, to grow your wealth, you have to believe in your abilities. You have to believe in your abilities to survive and your ability to make money. All right? It's self-efficacy. That's the term. It's how much you believe you can do something. And it's important. It's important to believe that you can do it. So what? So let's say you take a big risk and now you need some money. So you know how to do things. You can still go work somewhere, even in a job that is not very comfortable for you, but you can do it. You can float. Because at most, all crises are limited. There's going to be now, and then all you have to do is ask yourself, can I float a hard time? Not can I survive, just float it. Not even make money. Can I float? Especially if you live in an RV or stuff, you can reduce your cost. Anyway, my time is up. Still have a lot of things to say, and if anyone wants, feel free to reach out. And I hope everyone stays safe and healthy and be very successful in everything you do. And I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something. Have a good day. Thank you very much.